UPS just dropped off this awesome tool from Primeweld. This is the TIG225, so let's open it up. And a good thing I didn't cut through these, right through these instructions. Nice thick owner's manual, awesome. I need to read that because I have no idea how to work this thing. Good corner protection on the box. All right, here's box number 1. Box number 2. All right, nice foam padding all around. Awesome, no damage, it's well packed, and it's pretty easy to unpack, and it's not the heaviest thing in the world, so that's awesome. All right guys, so at this time I wish I could tell you what all this stuff does, but I really don't have that much of an idea right now because I haven't TIG welded in over 10 years. And back then when I did TIG weld, I basically worked with a coworker. I said, hey, why don't you teach me? He's like, here, sit down, here's the torch, here's the filler rod, just mash the pedal and go. And that's all I really did. So I don't have any experience with any settings, and you know, it's been a while since I've done this. So I don't even know what machine that was back then. So anyway, this is pretty much going to be all new to me, and we're going to learn together, okay? But what I can tell you based off other machines in this price range is this thing is loaded with a couple more features than others, okay? So that's what's pretty cool. So it has AC frequency, AC balance, it has upslope, downslope, pre-flow, post-flow, and even does pulse, okay? So that's all pretty cool, and we're all gonna go through that on this channel at some point here. Another thing I wanna mention is this thing has a pretty good duty cycle. So you can do 155 amps at 100% duty cycle on 220, okay? And if you wanna go all the way to 225 amps, the duty cycle is 40%. So for anything I'm gonna do in this garage, that is perfectly fine. And then lastly, I joined the Primeweld Equipment Users Facebook group months ago, and that's a pretty good community based off helping and support around this machine. And I've learned that the customer service is awesome. Anytime there's an issue that pops up with someone's machine, they're usually replacing it or helping them out immediately, okay? And it has a 3-year warranty, so that's a really good warranty. And just speaking to the guys over at Primeweld, they're like, hey, if you ever need anything, you call us, we'll let you know. And then on the sticker, there's a sticker on the back that says money back guarantee with our phone number and all that. So really impressed with the customer service so far. All right, so here's a closer look at the Primeweld TIG225, and I just want to take a moment and thank Primeweld for sponsoring this channel. All right, let's open box number 1 here. So this thing comes with a CK17 torch. Here's an adapter. Got a cord. We have some cups, and here is a tungsten. All right, let's open up this guy here. All right, so this guy has a flex head, so that's cool. Super flexible hose. And this is your gas hose right here. All right, let's check out box number 2. Okay, so we get one of these standard face masks and chipping hammer. Here's the foot pedal, and they've upgraded this over the years. So let's check this out. So we got a pedal. All right. Got our ground clamp. And then over here is the cord for your electrode for stick welding. And you got your gas cable. And finally, we got the regulator. Okay, let's look at the back really quick. You have your 220 cord. Here is where the argon hooks up, and here is the on-off switch. Okay, so not much else to it. There's nothing on the sides, nothing opens up or anything like that. So now let's put it on the cart. Okay, so I picked up the Harbor Freight cart. This is the Vulcan 350-pound version, and I really like it. I think it was normally 120 bucks. It was on sale for 99, and then I used it 20% off, so out the door like 80 some dollars. So that's pretty good. And I know that the machine fits pretty well in this based off what I've read on the internet. So I already have my argon bottle here. That's 150 cubic foot bottle. And yeah, so let's just set it in place. All right, let's make all the connections up front here. So here is the torch lead, and it always gets plugged into the negative for TIG, AC, and DC. If you're doing stick, then you gotta flip it, okay? So I'm never gonna do stick with this thing, I don't think. So anyway, that goes in there like that. All right, and then we can take our gas lead. It's a lot longer than it needs to be, but it goes in here. Okay, I'll probably have to zip tie that up. But anyway, go ahead and tighten this down, and I got an 11/16. Okay, just cinch that down. Next up is our foot pedal. I have a nice long cord for that. And go ahead and line it up, and there's a little notch here that faces down. Okay, that's all good. Okay, now take your ground clamp, which goes to the positive here. And by the way, it's labeled underneath here. You can't see it in the video, but it's labeled. Go ahead and tighten that down. All right, so we are all set up over here in front. Okay, we got a brand new argon tank, 100% argon. Take our regulator and put it in. Okay, now we're going to take the hose and hook up the tank to the machine. All right, so we have this little coupler here. All right, take the other end of the hose and attach it to the machine. It's labeled AR. Okay, it's 11/16. Just snug it up. Okay, let's put the torch together. It does come with instructions on how this goes together. So we're going to be using 3 30-seconds tungsten blue from Blue Demon, and it's the lanthanated 2%. I got that from Monkey Fab Garage. Sharpened it on the belt sander, and let's put it together. Okay, so there's an exploded diagram of how this goes together. And I'll just put the number 5 cup on here for now, okay? All right, so we'll put it through the collet and through here. This guy gets screwed in over here. All right, we'll do a little bit of a stick out, like 1/4 inch. And then this guy goes on here. All right. So that's all set up. That looks pretty good. So that's that. Okay, I mentioned the tungsten. I bought a starter kit from Monkey Fab Garage, and it comes with some stainless wire, some for steel, and some for aluminum. 1-pound tubes, and then 2 tungstens of each. The lanthanated, and I forget what the other one is. But anyway, it's reasonably priced, and it kind of packages a little starter kit so you can get going, and that's exactly what I need. I just need to fool around with this stuff. So, okay, so this machine requires a 50 amp breaker, so I did put an outlet in here a while back for the MIG, and so what I have here is obviously the 50 amp outlet breaker, and then I bought an extension cord, a 25-foot extension cord, because you know this welder is going to be moved around all over the place, this and the MIG, so I just have an extension cord hooked up to it. That way I can just move it around. Okay, flip the machine on. Alright, so we're going to be doing steel first. It's 60 thou material. You go 1 amp per thousandths of material. I'm just going to go to 78 just so I have room to go a little more. We're doing TIG, DC. None of this matters for DC. So I'm not doing any of this stuff. Upslope, downslope. We're going 2T. Pre-flow up to 3 seconds. We'll just go 1 second. You know, I don't want to waste all this gas, right? We don't care about this right now. We're not doing pulse. And post-flow will go, I don't know, 1 or 2. It looks like a couple seconds right there. So those are our settings for this steel. All right, let's set up our gas. So I'm gonna hit the pedal, and then we'll see how much it would help if I turn the tank on, right? All right, so here we go. Gas is flowing. So you can see the ball. That's 30. We're gonna go down to like 15. All right, here we go. So we got 60 thou material, just a little scrap piece. I cleaned it with a wire brush and then hit it with acetone. I cleaned my stick here with acetone. Got all my stuff on. Got the ground clamp. Let's give it a whirl. I couldn't see what I'm doing. I just burned right through this thing. Alright. Let's try that again. Okay, we got a fresh piece of steel here. This is 0.75 thickness. I'm running about 70 amps, 75 amps. Let me just turn it up a little bit. Alright, I hit it with a wire brush and cleaned it with acetone. Okay, so it's working. I just have to adjust my helmet here. It's really bright. Okay, that's a good shade darkness on my helmet, so let's just go ahead and try this out here. I'm kind of blinded. Okay, can barely see, but hey, there's something to look at. Okay, so this is the first, so I was trying to just tack. It was really bright, and because of these areas, I am seeing stars right now, but anyway, here's the bead I tried to lay. It was actually difficult to see, so I don't know what's going on. I got to adjust my helmet and find out some other settings. This looks, even though there's a lot of heat here, it doesn't look like it melted or penetrated the metal all that well. So, I mean, especially here. So, I have to look at that. I mean, even though it looks like it penetrated all through here. So anyway, first crack at it. A lot of settings to mess with. But in any case, I got it to work. Alright, so I found out that it was the sensitivity on my helmet. I had the delay time for very short, sensitivity high. I switched the sensitivity to low and delay time to long, okay? And messed with the shade, and now I can see. So let's give this another go over here. Tons of variation in this one, but hey, at least I can see I got it down to what I need to do, but now it's just a matter of making a decent weld. So that's that one right there. Alright, here's a closer look. Looks like it was really hot, and then it got colder as the time went on. I don't know what happened there, but anyway, you know, just small adjustments to my helmet, and you know, I got this thing working. Doesn't look great. That's not a good weld whatsoever, but hey, let's move on to aluminum. Okay, now let's try some aluminum. All we got to do is flip this to AC. AC frequency, we're going to go, what, 120 or so? Should be right around there. AC balance, 30%. And then welding current, I don't know if you can see that too well. We're going to go a maximum about 50 amps. We're doing 50 thou material. Alright, so here's the first bead. Probably could use a little more filler material, and I need to work on my stops to avoid that crater, but you know, this is, I haven't done this in 10-15 years, so let's just keep practicing. Alright, so we have some thicker material. This is 200 thou thick, so running a little over 200 amps, and the thicker material seems to be easier to work with, so let's go ahead and give this a whirl. Dude, that looks... All right, so that looks pretty good. I'm starting to get the hang of it. Obviously, I have no idea if that's a good weld or not, but I'm just going to keep going, getting used to this. Obviously, it's practice. And then here's the start of this. You could see I wasn't adding enough filler, not enough heat or whatever, but I wasn't able to get the hang of it. But just, 5 minutes later, and, it's looking pretty good. Okay, so I did some more practicing, and here it is. As you can see, none of this looks awesome, right? Some of these welds look okay. Some of them completely look terrible. But I was just trying different things. More heat, more filler, less filler. I'm just trying to get, used to this process. Look over here. So, at least I'm trying to move the torch consistently, get the dabs going and whatnot. And this is just on flat plate, right? I tried to do a lap joint here, and I started burning holes and so forth. So one thing I was trying to do is get a good stopping fill or point, because craters were popping up, and those can develop cracks and whatnot. So that's something I need to work on as well. The purpose of this video is just to get it set up and going, and now it's time to work on my skills, So what's weird is I actually thought the aluminum was easier. I had issues with the steel, mainly due to the helmet settings, but I just found that the aluminum was easier to work with, which is, opposite of what you read. Aluminum's much harder to weld. Yes, it melts quicker, but anyway, so that's it. Just a quick rundown of what the practicing was so far. All right, well, that's going to do it for today's video. The purpose of this video was to unbox it, set it up, and just run a few welds, okay? I have a lot to learn, so in the future, we'll definitely do more videos on this, more welding videos, as hopefully I get better. But in the meantime, I'm going to leave a link in the video description to this welder and Primeweld. They have other products like a plasma cutter and MIG welder and all that, so you can check that out. And I'll also throw a link in the upper right. So that's pretty much it. So stay tuned for the next video.